general assessment of that, if you can?
We just failed to stop the flow. We started a little slow there, and obviously it's 6-0. Fought back, got it 6-all, but then we just couldn't stop the middle unit guys pretty much. I think getting a roll on, and we've had a disrupted week of prep, and the short turnarounds and all that stuff. So we're a little bit clumsy with our defence there early in most of the first half, but I thought we fought enough to not let it get fully out of hand there in the first half. At 28-6, it doesn't look good, but it's still sort of in the balance somewhat. I thought in a well-refereed game, I thought, where he let the game be played. There was a critical moment at 6-all, last tackle on the try line, where McIlaurim's lying in the ruck. It's one of those days. Sometimes you need that to go your way, and it didn't. And then we weren't good enough to respond to that, and the better team certainly won today.
Yeah, 'cause I think after that they scored, they forced a dropout score, and then after that they were on fire after that one.
Yeah, they played well, and we were pretty ordinary for a fair chunk of that. So people talk about an 80-minute game or take the ball out of play time. It's 52 minutes or whatever, and we probably played well for half of that period today, which is not enough against a top 4 team.
What did you do different after half time to stop them being so dominant through it?
Oh, we just reset and just went about our work in a bit better fashion. Geno made a statement there on the kickoff and put his shoulder on the ball and forced an error, and that sort of put us on the front foot a little bit, I guess. And for a large part of that second half at 28-16, it was in the balance. If we score next, it's game on. So it was a good hard battle most of that second half, I thought, but we were not good enough for too much of that first half.
You made tremendous strides, obviously, in the last couple of months or so, but that before you even came, there was that down the middle, a lot of close contact meters, getting isolated one-on-one defensively on bigger men. It seemed to sort of come back again a little bit today. Do you reckon that's the main area of improvement that there is in this side of the minute, or is that me looking too deep into 40 minutes?
There's periods of every game where the opposition and ourselves struggle through the middle. There's large periods of that second half where we were making and creating real inroads in their middle. The two of the first sort of 3 tries were, one of them was a poor team defence against their shift play, and the other one was a kick that was really difficult to defuse, and they put their hand on it first. So certainly we need to be better against Casiano. That was a massive part of the first half. I thought when he came on, the game changed.
Is Brad all right? Did he pass his HIA?
Yeah, he passed his HIA and he went back, but he. Do you
think it was a penalty?
Other games that was a penalty, but I'm all for 13 on 13 and best players being able to play each week. I'm an advocate of that, while taking caution as needed to protect our players, and I feel like that was a good hard game tonight overall. Players take care of each other, they hit each other hard at times, and that's the way the game should be played.
Have you come through as unscathed as you can after playing 2 games in however many days it's been?
Yeah, we've had 2 5-day turnarounds, so everyone's in the same sort of bracket, I guess. I don't think there's anything significant. I haven't done the medical check, but no one came off due to an injury, so Brad passed his HIA, so he'll be okay. No, nothing else comes to mind.
You said throughout, you're not looking at the league table, it's always about next week. It's very much come down to always looking at next week, because ultimately the final game now determines whether you're in or out of the playoffs. How big a week is this in the context of the time you've been in?
There's more in the outcome this week, but the process, is not going to shift a lot. It's been a week by week process all the time, and now it's not even worth looking at the table because everyone knows it's us and Cass, I believe, is that winner takes all. How good. Great for the competition in general that it's gone right down to the last couple of games on Easter in August, and yeah, how good. It's great for the competition, and we're excited to have that opportunity to do it. If you said 4 months ago we'd be playing for a playoff spot in round 27 at home, you would have jumped all over that.
Are you glad that you've got, I mean, obviously, you'd rather have it wrapped up, but can you make the most of the opportunity of having that knockout style experience, before the playoffs, but just for the development of the group in general, to have that big game for you?
Yeah, it's another level up because it's your last chance to get the result. But to a point, we've been playing for weeks. We've won 6 in a row, and before today, so we've been playing on the edge pretty much for months. So there's no need to crank it up too much. It's obvious what's at stake, and we'll go about trying to have a more polished performance on Saturday.
Just very finally for me, just asking about Morgan Gannon. He's clearly playing a bit busted. He's holding his ribs all the time, but he's playing so well. He played big minutes again today. He's 18. How good is he?
He's a great kid. On and off the field, he's just an outstanding kid. In every aspect. Or really, he's a young man, a really mature young kid. I think he was just adjusting his pad, to be honest, today. He's got a bit of ribs there, but he was never in doubt to play. He's a tough kid, goes about his work. He's very clever, but he's 18, so you guys don't need to talk him up too much.
Now you've experienced 2 games over a weekend. What are your thoughts?
Well, this one's not that much different, given it was 5 days from Wednesday to Monday. But on the back of a 5-day turnaround into a 5-day turnaround into a 5-day turnaround coming up, I'm not quite sure the reasoning behind it. With the number of injuries that there are across the competition already, and also the number, how severe they've been on suspensions through the year. To add this the week before the playoffs is, interesting, I guess.
And IMG are here who are doing the survey of the game to talk about the value of the sport in France. This is, your 3rd trip in 7 weeks. You could have a 4th in another couple of weeks' time. Are you happy to keep coming here? Is it a great experience for you?
Yeah, for sure. I was fortunate enough to be at the London Broncos and Harlequins when the Dragons were just preparing to come into the Super League. I was part of game against Leeds actually down here the year before the Dragons came into the competition. I think it's great to have them in, and it was great to have Toulouse in, and it's a shame that they're not going to be part of Super League next year. And I really hope that they, if it is good for the game, it seems to be. I'm quite new, but it seems to be massive in the south of France. It's not the number 1 sport, but it doesn't have to be the number 1 sport to have a strong following. And I'd be a big advocate of the game expanding and growing if that's the best thing for the game.